We're going to talk about 5 tips to maintaining your motivation. As we all know, motivation is very fleeting, right? Monday morning, it's great. Sometimes by Monday afternoon, it's gone. And I can tell by, right, week 4 of this challenge that we are losing some motivation. Everybody started off really hot and heavy. I think I got a text from almost everyone who said that they wanted results. However, again, that motivation is very fleeting. And by week 4, I think there's maybe 25% of you who are still actively involved in this challenge, which is a problem with the challenges and a very common thing that happens when there is low investment and low, what's the word? I guess engagement, but also there are some other tips to maintaining this motivation. So, the first is setting clear and meaningful goals. Okay, I have talked with some of you about your specific goals. All of you filled out the consultation, which really clearly defined some goals. Okay, and the most important part though is to make them really specific, make them measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely, right? But keeping them on a small scale. So you can have big specific goals, right? Like you want to lose X pounds. Okay, that's measurable. Or, you want to lose X inches on your waist, or you want to fit into this size jean, or whatever. Okay, those are specific, they're measurable, that's great. And yes, they're achievable, they're realistic, but it's the timely. So having a longer term goal and a bigger goal is fine, but you also want to notch that down into shorter weekly goals, which is what we did with this challenge. So specifically, we did actionable goals that were measurable, but in terms of week by week, right, taking that on. And so first was protein, then it was vegetables, oh no, sorry, first was water, then it was protein, then it was vegetables, fruits and veggies, then it was um gratitude. So the the goal and the point behind those 4 small weekly goals is to give you actionable steps to focus on. So you have your big overall goal, and some of you are making progress, great progress toward it. But along the way, there is you want to make little smaller goals. Okay. So that is where those other actionable steps come in, because there's nothing actionable with wanting to lose weight, right? There's nothing specifically actionable about that. So that's just an example of why we did some of those things and ways that you can structure your workout or your goals. The other thing, finding your why, right? Identifying the real reasons behind your goals, understanding why achieving them is important to you. Okay. This deeper sense of purpose is going to provide far more intrinsic motivation and serve as a reminder during the hard times, right? Way more than just I want to fit into these jeans. That's very surface level. It's very, it's generally extrinsic technically, right? But when, you have the motivation to be a good example for your kids, or you want to physically have more energy for them, or be capable and strong so that you can play with them or lift them up, right? Those are more intrinsic. And really digging deep and finding those values is a way to maintain some real motivation. So, keeping that visible to you throughout your fitness journey is important, to keeping that at the forefront of your mind. Okay. Oh, and I kind of talked about this already, but breaking it down, right? Divide your larger goals into smaller, more manageable tasks or milestones. This makes your goals ultimately less overwhelming, allows you to celebrate your progress along the way, right? It gives you that appreciation for the journey, not just the destination. Focus on accomplishing one step at a time, creating that sense of achievement and sustained motivation. So those actionable steps, those smaller actionable steps can also be broken down into small smaller, like, okay, this week I want to lose, or this month I want to lose 5 pounds. Okay, now break that down by week. I don't necessarily recommend that because it's, doing that for weight. I'm just using this as a probably poor example, but having those smaller milestones can help maintain motivation. But for example, we use protein, right? How many days did you reach your protein goal? Those are the things to celebrate, right? Then you make your goal. Okay, I'm focusing on protein this week. I want to hit my protein 4 out of 7 days. My protein target, sorry, something like 4 out of 7 days. You reach it, awesome. Celebrate that, right? And moving on to the next one, keep track of it and then celebrate it. Reward your, skipped one. Sorry. So, um, reward yourself. We'll get to that in a second. But, right, celebrate those achievements. That's important. And then create a supportive environment, which is what we did here in the group, right? Having other people celebrate your wins. That's why I asked you to share your wins, because seeing other people winning and doing the same things helps motivate other people. So this is not just for you. Stop being selfish and hiding your wins, because when you share the success that you're having, it allows other people to believe in themselves. It allows other people to see what's possible. So sharing your wins is not about you. It's not bragging, right? It's showing other people what they can do and what is achievable. Especially, if you're a busy mom or things like that. Sharing how you had success and how you got those wins is so important to creating, again, motivation for not just you but other people. So surrounding yourself with positive, supportive people who share your goals, encourage your journey. Join these communities, find an accountability partner, a coach, right? Seek professional guidance, somebody who is there to hold you accountable, to help you figure out and celebrate those wins. Okay, having that support system can provide motivation, accountability, a sense of belonging, and honestly, could be the difference between success and not. My one of my favorite quotes is, hang around, hang around four smokers, you'll be the fifth. Hang around, four unhealthy people, you'll be the fifth. The reality of it is that, and whether we want to admit it or not, we are so impacted by our environment that if we are not actively seeking out people who also want the same things as us and who are living the lifestyles that we want, we will likely not be successful, or it's going to be much harder. Here, reward yourself, right? Acknowledge and reward yourself for reaching those milestones or achieving that progress, right? Those steps along the way. Celebrate the journey. You have to. Celebrating achievements, big and small, recognizing the wins that you're having, right? And then treating yourself to something you enjoy or indulging in activities that replenish your energy and enthusiasm. I did a talk last night on self care, right? And that could be part of it. Is like, okay, you have this, small, attainable, measurable goal of hitting protein 4 out of 7 days. One, how are you going to do that? What does that look like? Are you going to have to meal prep, tracking your food? Obviously, put in a day of your planned food so that you know kind of where you're at and what you need to adjust from there. Then number 3, recognizing your achievements. That's a win, right? That is a weekly win. Reward yourself for that. And that could look like going and getting a pedicure, or, getting a massage or something smaller, right? Some new workout socks, like little things. It doesn't have to be big. I generally try to stay away from like food rewards, because you're not a dog. You don't need to earn a treat. If you want something, go eat it. And that's part of the all or nothing mindset shift that I do encourage. But find something that you're going to, reward yourself with. And maybe it is toward a bigger goal. So maybe you put, every week that you nail your macros or whatever, you put $5 in a jar, or for every day you put $1 or something like that. That ultimately goes to, a new pair of leggings or something along those lines. So that is a huge component of, again, keeping that motivation, because motivation is fleeting. And yes, ultimately you will develop discipline and you will develop habits that just continue, but that takes time and that takes consistency. And in order to get there, and in order to, keep that consistency, you have to have support and various tools in place along the way. So remember, motivation can fluctuate over time, as we all know. It's important to revisit, reassess your goals periodically, right? With clients, we check in weekly. We have different weekly goals that, sometimes go throughout the day. And then there's monthly, there's their big overall goals that they're working towards. Stay flexible. Ditch that all or nothing mindset. It's literally killing you. Stay flexible, adapt your approach as needed. Again, that's why we have the weekly touch points so that we can adjust. Like, okay, this didn't work. Why didn't it work? What can we do better next time? Building sustainable habits and maintaining motivation is an ongoing process. It requires self reflection, perseverance, and self compassion. So be gentle with yourself. Know that, generally we're doing the best we can. And if you're not, start changing, right? And if you need that accountability to start doing your best or to start making changes, obviously, you know how to reach us. I hope that helps.